Hi students, it's Nigora. In this video lesson, we will learn how to write formal letters. On the screen, you can see plan. So first, I'll try to give overall information about formal letters, and in the second part, complaint letter writing will be explained in details. So, the first we should answer to the question, what is a formal letter? A formal letter is any letter written in professional language with a prescribed format for a formal purpose. So, there are different types of formal letters: recommendation letter, inquiry letter, complaint letter, cover letter, and so on. All legal and business letters are formal letters. So, such letters are used for a variety of reasons. For example, for invitation, proposal, reference, making a complaint, inquiry, applying for a job. On the screen, you can see the style of a formal letter. So, when you write formal letter, you should try to use formal language and not to make some grammar mistakes, because you are writing the person, institution, or organization you don't know. That's why you are advised to write formal letter and not to use slang or colloquial words. And you should try to be factual rather than emotional. And your information should be in a specified format. And you try to be straight to the point. So the content should be relevant and objective. Even you are complaining about something in your letter, still you should try to be polite. On the screen, you can see what to avoid when you are writing a formal letter. The first thing, you should try not to make mistakes in spelling and grammar. So I advise here to use Grammarly. It is a free tool you can use to proofread your work. Then using contractions, for example, instead of I don't, you should write I do not. Including unnecessary information. Try to be straight to the point. One thing should be explained precisely. The one thing should be the matter. Making the same point multiple times. Then overcomplicated language. When we ask our students to write complaint letters, sometimes our students want to show their language is the best, but overusing overcomplicated language is also confusing. Reader feels confused and may lose the point you want to give him or her. On the next slide, you can see structure of a formal letter. So, main part divides into three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. In introduction part, if you answer to these two questions, your introduction is ready. Why are you writing, and where did you get the information? Here, try to be accurate as possible. And the main body. In main body, give details in one or several paragraphs. Try to use only relevant information here. And in conclusion part, depends on the type of letter. And you can conclude your letter by closing statements. For some students, to remember the content of how to, not content, I'm sorry, the structure of how to write formal letters is difficult. So that's why for these students, we advise to remember to use template. So here you can see the template on the screen and the sample. Template is divided into 7 parts. So the first part is heading. The heading consists of address and the data of the sender, of course. Inside the address, this is the address, contains of the name and the address of the person to whom you are writing. Then salutation. Typically, the salutation in a formal letter is dear. Then it is followed by Mr., Mrs., Miss, and others. Then comes, of course, main part. So the main part of the letter in which you write what you have to say to the addressee. Then closing part. The closing is the ending of your letter. It appears at the bottom of the letter. So you can use here some expressions like your truly, sincerely, and others. Then your signature and your name, full name. Then, as I mentioned, there are different types of letters. So on the screen, you can see letter of application, letter of inquiry, letter of apology, and letter of thanks. I tried here to choose the most common types. When you have time, please try to learn them precisely, because here we try to give short information of how to write this type of letters. This is end of the first part. As I promised in the second part, we will talk about complaint letter writing. So what is complaint letter? Complaint letter is also a formal letter you write when you are upset about something and want to complain about it. What to do? What do you need to write here? So as I mentioned, main part divides into 3 parts, and so the same thing in complaint letter writing. You start with beginning. Then body, you should close with ending. In beginning part, try to give your reason for writing. Here you can use the expression like I'm writing to complain about, for example, defective laptop. In the body part, here you should give details of the complaint. Here I advise you to pay attention to the tenses, because when you complain about something, usually it happened in past tense. So that's why use past tenses mostly. Ending. So in ending part, you can ask for action. Here the layout of complaint letter. The first sender's address, then data, then recipient's title. It's as I mentioned in template, it is inside address here, then greeting, so-called its salutation, and subject. Here subject, it is body part, main part, and concluding part. So in the closing part, you can use some expressions. Here you can say yours faithfully, then signature, then sender's name, full name. On the screen you can see language and style. So when you write a complaint letter, even you are complaining about something, try to be polite. The recipient will take the complaint more seriously. Avoid using rude and words and being too abrupt. Here, the sentences, you can evaluate whether they are rude or polite. Let's read the first one. I am writing to complain about the pig pen that you call a shopping center. So you are using the word pig pen, the expression pig pen, and it sounds very rude. That's why I don't advise to write in this way. So next, read following sentence. I was extremely disappointed in the service at the restaurant. At the restaurant. Okay, here the sentence sounds polite, so that's why you can keep this kind of structures in your mind. On the screen also you can see some useful expressions when you write a complaint letter, you can use it in opening lines and suggesting actions. In opening lines, for example, I am writing to complain about a faulty computer that I bought in your store. What are any suggesting actions? Please see to this matter immediately. Other also you can use in your writing. Please remember them. Here are the sample. When you have time, please students read this sample and compare the structure I have explained. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you. See you soon.